colonize us and enslave us. So my question is, why would a black person be a Muslim, Islamic Muslim, and this Islamic Muslim people, they murder us, they colonize us, and they enslave us? So why should we want to be a part of their program? This is my question.
That's for you to answer, bro, not me. Are you following the Arab or the Muslim, or are you following the religion, the ideology?
Well, the Arab Muslim ideology and religion is Islam. So they
Yeah.
murder us and enslave us in the name of Islam, just as the Christian murder us and enslave us in the name of Jesus Christ, Christianity. And I don't see
Okay.
any difference.
Okay.
So I'm
Like I told
asking you.
Anu.
I don't see no reason to do. But if you see a reason to do, I'm trying to understand why would you see a reason to do. I'm not against you or for it. I'm just asking a question to get a better understanding. Why would black people go for this?
Okay, the Arabs of the time of those days were they wanted servants to serve them, so they went to Africa, and the own African people were selling them. So they went there and took them as servants in Arabia and etc. So these people, to enslave someone and treat them like shit, and they chop the dicks off, takes them outside the fold of Islam. Okay, they're not Muslims. Okay, before the time of the Prophet Muhammad and the four Caliph, there was no racism. They had servants that were white, black, Arab, all types of colors of servants. You can't just say they were black servants. There were all sorts of servants, and these people were people that built things, and you know what I mean. They were treated fairly at the time of the Prophet and stuff like that. In fact, in the time of the Prophet, if you treated a servant, I'm not going to use the word slave, a servant, unfairly, okay, and the black man came, or white man, or wherever, any color, came to the Prophet Muhammad and said, this man has done this to me, the Prophet Muhammad would say to the person, he is no longer your servant. Go do what you want. Go do what you want. Okay? So, why don't you go ask the black man, why don't you go ask the black Muslim man why he became a Muslim? That would be my question to you. If Africans have been enslaved all their life and they got this rage towards the Muslims, why is there 350 million African Muslims in the world? Go ask them.
Well, why is there
you a Muslim?
50? Why is there 50 million? Why is there 50 million black people in America, and the majority of them are Christian?
Because 50 million people in America, I can guarantee you right now that maybe 5% of them are practicing the faith.
No,
maybe
I'm
1
not
million.
going
Maybe
to succumb. I'm not going to succumb personally for myself. I'm not going to succumb, and I'm not going to be a part of anybody who have murdered and raped my ancestors. I don't care what your religion proclaim, because you did it in the name of, they did it in the name of Islam, just as the Christian did it in the name of Christianity. Just as the Caucasian did it in the name of Christianity, the Arab did it in the name of Islam. So I'm not going to be lend myself to be a part of that. You have been the enemy of my people all our lives, since they have shown up. Not all our lives, because we had lives where we did not have this interference long before any of them show up. So now at this point, after they show up, we have become victims of their barbaric way of living. And I ask again, why would I become a part of the same thing that have been here destroying me? The Arab Muslim has been enslaving us 1,400 years. The Christian is enslaving us 500 years. Why am I going to be a part of their crusade? Is what my question is to any black person. You know,
I can't answer you, bro.
Hold up, Moe, check this out, Moe. And then the reason why you have a lot of black Muslims right now because of the brothers. If it weren't from the brothers, like the teachers, like Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you won't even have a lot of black Muslims right now, bro. It'll be more Christians than Muslims. So you should be thankful for black leaders like Malcolm X and Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because it won't
And
be no
Marcus
black
Garvey.
As you can see, my
And Marcus
icon,
Garvey
my
them,
icon
yeah.
has Malcolm X. He's my hero. He's my hero. Malcolm X is my hero.
Yeah, well, just like Malcolm X was a Muslim and Elijah Muhammad was a Muslim. Well, guess what? The Honorable Elijah, the Honorable Marcus Garvey was a Roman Catholic. Okay, because
Okay.
at those times in history, we did not know and see as we know and see now. So even though these people were great leaders for black, they had things in their life that didn't really make sense for a black person to do. Okay, but now we know better. We know
Okay.
better, and there's no
Okay.
need to continue.
Okay. Yep. You're right. No need to continue. You, all I can tell you is, brother, you have to get out of this race thing. You have to forget it happened. Okay. History's history. Every nation on earth was persecuted by another race or another empire. Every nation, every people on earth. There's not one inch of
Yes,
the
I
earth
agree.
that wasn't enslaved or persecuted or what's it called. You just want to go in for. You just want to, because you're a different color, that you think that you deserve more right. Okay, I want to ask you, why didn't the black man unite against these people? They are supposed to be the most strongest in physique, okay, the most stamina, warriors, lions, okay,
Yes.
and the most. How can they be? I can't
I can answer
see.
that question. I can answer that question.
I can't see
I
a
can answer the question for you, Marshall.
I can't see a 7-foot black man, okay, a 7-foot black man being enslaved by a 5-foot Arab man, unless there's inside fighting going in, or the own black man enslaving his own black man and selling him off. That's the only way I see it, and that's history. That's how it happened.
Okay, let me answer that question, Woody. The reason why that's like that, because the blacks has been the most persecuted in our history than any people. And look what happened to the black that happened to no other nationality that been in racism or race. I mean, like black people. Black people has been taught from the womb when they was in races, the woman belly getting cut open, and the baby sometimes, you know, not living, surviving. And then you got the woman when she was pregnant being taught that the man getting beat. She's seeing the man getting beat while she's pregnant. Then they was taught in school about how a light skin and a dark skinned African American should hate each other just because of their skin tone. So when we do try to come together, it's hard for us to come together because we got the Willie Lynch syndrome. And then we got the Willie Lynch syndrome. So it's hard, it's in a lot of people's DNA say, man, I hate black. I don't want this black man to be better than me because I want to have the nice car. I want to have the nice jewelry. I don't want him to have it. I want to have it. So they got this type of mentality, but the Arabs don't have that mentality. The Chinese don't have that mentality. They want to see each other have everything good, but the black man want to be the only man on top of his own brother. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's been taught this.
Let me add this.
The black man
let me
enslaved
please.
themselves. The black man enslaved and fought themselves and sold their own people to the Arabs.
Well, let me answer to that. Let me answer to that. Okay, I tell you, you have two black tribes. We're going to say tribes, but we had nations and empires and so forth. But you have two black communities in Africa. Okay, now these conquerors come in with these awesome weapons, the gun, and all these things, and they tell you, you're the bigger than the tribe next door. Okay, so what we're going to tell you is, if you don't help us, we're going to wipe them out and we're going to wipe you out too. Now you're bigger than them. You can go get them and can take control of them and you can bring them to us, or you can get wiped out like they get wiped out. Okay, so you have this option. The people is saddled with this dilemma. Am I going to sit here and watch my children and my women be murdered and raped, and or am I going to help these guys do something for we can survive? Okay, and this is
Okay.
the limit that the African was put up with. Now, then you talk about the Moors. Okay, well, the Moors were conquered people. The black people who presented themselves as Moors were conquered people, and they take to Islam, and then they go fight in the name of because when you think of Moor, you think of Islam, but no, not necessarily, because all kind of people were Moor. Okay, but the people join in because Moor is not a people. Moor is a crusade, just like the Christian crusade, just like the Muslim crusade. Okay, and Moor is just another crusade, not a people. So you say, why would these people go do this? Because their fear of being annihilated themselves. So I'm going to help these guys for we can survive. Okay. This is a common, this is not nothing of insanity for black people to turn this way. You can say they're traitors if you want to, but when somebody's threatening to kill you, just as in Kemet, when the Romans and the Greeks come in and they say, you're going to teach us all this information because we done took over and conquer you. If you don't give it to us, we're going to kill you. Well, what they going to do? Many of the Kemetic priests from Egypt, they say, okay, we're going to give you information, but we're going to give you false information. And then they always bring this thing in. They're going to mix the race. And this is how they were able to, the European were able to come in and conquer in Europe and conquer across the rest of Africa, because they come in, they mate with us. We have a hybrid group of people who are there implanted in our place, and they allow and help the European and the Arab come in because of this mating, this mixing. Okay, well, they have even continued this to today, all across our lands. They come in, they mate with the people, they bring a hybrid race of people to come in and be a buffer between the oppressor and the oppressed. And this is the hybrid people of the mixed community.
Yeah, look, bro, I feel your pain, bro, but honestly, what I hear is a guilt trip. People going on what's called you're trying to make people feel guilty for you when you should instead be standing up and being proud and moving on from what you suffered. And when you say to me that they came and they had no choice, I look at that as a cowardice movement. Every nation,
because they could have chose to die, fight and die.
Yeah, okay, let me say that.
But look at the Jew. Look at what is the Jew saying about his Holocaust? What is the Jew?
Tootie, hold on. Let me say this, Tootie. Hey Mo, listen, Mo. You got every time a black leader rise up, what they do? They put false charges on him, like child molestation, or they say he killed somebody, or they say tax invasion. Look what they did with Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Look what they did with Malcolm X. Look what they did with Dr. Malachi Z. York. Look what they did with Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Look what they did with Marcus Garvey. Look what they did. I can go on and on and on, bro. Don't you see?
Over and over again.
And who's
over and over again?
And who's this that done it? Arabs?
Even in Africa, Lumumba and others in Africa, all the same thing.
What about Idi Amin?
He's
a brother.
Yeah.
He was a brother.
He was a Muslim.
Okay, just like Gaddafi. Brother. You got Gaddafi. Gaddafi was finna put Africa back into its right perspective. That's why they killed Gaddafi, really, because Gaddafi wanted to come with the gold and say, hey, we don't want to deal with the European money system no more. We want to deal with gold, how it really originally was with the black African people. So Gaddafi was going to do that.
Gaddafi wanted to unite the Arab and the African.
Wait a minute now. Gaddafi is in Africa as an invader, as a conqueror. He's not in Africa as an African. What Gaddafi did in Africa was for the Islamic Arab people. It was not for the black people, the original people, because see, he is even there in Libya as a conqueror. His people were not there. Our people were there. So even Gaddafi come in easy as a conqueror. He speak good for Africa, but no, he's speaking good for Africa for the better of his people, not of the African people. Okay, so I don't have no crocodile tears and remorse for Gaddafi.
Okay. So is that why when he went to the Arab summit, he said, "Let the king of Africa and the king of the Arabs unite"? So did he call himself an Arab or the king of Africa or an African?
Yeah, well, his whole ideology was around, we need y'all black people to be Arab, to be Muslims. Y'all not gonna be Arab, you're Africans, but we need y'all black people to be Muslims because we need y'all to fight with us just as you did in the Moorish Crusade. Okay, so you have to keep the proper perspective of what these people, why and what these people are bringing to you. They have their own agenda, and they use us for these things. You say, why the African enslaved the African? Well, we had slavery long before the European or the Arab ever show up, but not the kind of slavery they're talking about. The slave in the African culture is a member of the family, a member of society. He can be a lawyer, a doctor, a physician. Okay, this is not the type of slavery they brought. They brought a different type of slavery. Yeah, we didn't know nothing about the type of slavery. And I tell you this, you can go, and not only when I say it to you, you can go on, I produce television programs and documentaries, and you can go on African World Festival and Parades Network, and you will see a documentary there that we did in Ghana. And the chiefs of Ghana, they held their convention, and the chiefs from all over come, and they say, we apologize for any part that any African people play in slavery because we did not understand the type of slavery that these people were bringing. We already had a type of slavery, and we thought this is what they had. But no, when they find out this is not the type of slavery they had, they got something else, something more sinister. Something more barbaric, then the black people they fight more against, and they don't fight to the death, and they do succumb to Islam in these things. Okay, this was a bad mistake in our part in history. Okay, bad mistake to take on partnership with these people who we didn't understand their interpretation of slavery. We didn't understand their interpretation of the way of life. Okay, and we fall and succumb to that because we had not seen life like that. We didn't know no people be like that. Okay,
so the father of the human race, which is the black man, didn't say nothing coming.
Yes,
and he's our father. So the child of the black race, the children of the black man, manipulated the father. In other words.
Oh yeah, the father. I'm more concerned about the mother because no person walking this earth came through man. Every individual walked this earth came through mother, and they holler about God. Oh well, we worship goddess. The woman is the one who brings the people to this planet, not the man. Okay, so it's no good to have a worship and try to have a philosophy about life, and you want to include the man as God, the female as God, and you don't, and you leave out the female because there's no way you can leave out the female. Because if you leave out the female, you will have no more population on the planet. Okay.
You know, I gotta go soon. But all I can say is, brother, that my sincere advice is. There's no such thing as Africa will never unite as a race. Okay,
as a people,
because you will never unite. Okay, and your only solution, okay, is to either be absorbed by the Muslim Africans or the Christian Africans, or your tribal things. So it's going to come to a stage where you're going to have to choose. You know what I mean? The Arab side or the Christian side. You know what I mean? That comes back to you. That's what's happening today in America and all around the world. It's between Christianity and Islam. Okay,
well, no.
You got some people coming up now and saying, nah, we're not going to take neither Islam, neither Christianity. We're going to create our own religion. The Hebrew Israelites. We're Jews. We're going to say we're Israelites.
They're going to make up something. But no, that's not necessary. Because you can look at Nigeria. I use the land of my people, Oyo land, in Nigeria, in the south. Western part of Nigeria, Oyo land is there, and the ancient Yoruba religion is there, and culture is there. But what you see all over the rest of Nigeria, in the north and east to west, you see the Christian is fighting the Muslim. The Christian is fighting the Islamic Muslim all across. All across Nigeria. But then you see the ancient African culture of Yoruba sitting down there in the South and just twiddling their thumbs and say, I don't know what to make out of all these savage, insane people, and I'm not strong enough to whoop them and put them out of our country. Okay, so you got this all going on. Okay, we still have our same or the same ancient African religions in the people, the Akan people, the Cameroon, the Ashanti, all these people from all these places, they still there. The Nubians, the Kemet, they all still there. Okay, it's all still there, but the Islamic and Christian influence have overtaken.
Okay, so it's obviously destiny. I don't know if you believe in a God, but it's been destined for these things to happen. Christianity or Islam to be in Africa. It's destiny.
Okay.
So you're not going to be able to overpower neither the Christians nor the Muslims. The Christians are being funded by, given weapons by the West to kill off
the Jews Muslim are funding the Christians. The Jews, these supposed to be Jewish people are, they funding
they're funding the Christian Sudanese, they're funding the Christian Nigerians, they're funding all the Christian half Muslim, half Christian nations. It's a fact. So
well, see, this is their game plan. This is the chess game. You know the game chess? You play chess on the board. This is the chess game of the Jew, the Semite. The Semite sit in the middle. What is a Semite? Half black, half white. That's why it's Semite. The word Semite, half, partial. Okay, the Semite, the Arab, he's sit in the middle. A half of them, a half of those. And what he does is he pit the black against the white, and this leaves him open, clear. Don't nobody look at me what I'm doing. Okay, it's just the black against the white. The NAACP. I don't know if you. I don't know if you know this NAACP here in America is supposed to be the National Black Organization. Okay, well, guess what? The NAACP was created by the Jew, right? And guess what? I don't know if you know about the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan is the white people or organization, and they attack the black people. Guess who created the Ku Klux Klan? The Jew. The white people didn't create Ku Klux Klan, and they didn't create.
Okay, bro. Yeah. I can tell you all this stuff, brother. I know all this stuff. Okay, people laugh at me when I say this stuff. What I'm trying to say to you is, the NAACP was created to counter Malcolm X. Okay, it was created to influence
not just Malcolm X, black nationalism.
It was actually to counter Malcolm X.
Yeah, black nationalism.
Black nationalism. Okay, look at this. Okay, look at this. Martin Luther King told a black man not to fight, not to care about what's called, believe in God, believe in Christianity, you know what I mean, this and this and this and that. Sorry, Martin Luther King. Malcolm X taught we're not going to be enslaved by the slave master. We're not going to take their shit. You know what I mean? We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that, which is what you're preaching today. And he was a Muslim. Okay. So who you reckon is the puppet? Who you reckon suits you more? The Muslim or the Christian?
Huh? What happened?
According to your ideology, which man would you choose in today?
Between who?
Between
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King?
And Malcolm,
Well, I'm going to tell you this again. They had not become as knowledgeable about a lot of things as we are today. So Malcolm X, he take another look at things. He would dump Islam. I'm telling you. Martin Luther King, he take another look at things from today. 50 years later, he would dump Christianity. Okay, because see, Martin Luther King, he pushed integration. Well, integration was one of the greatest tricks of these European people coming in here to steal the power from black people. Okay, they made a mistake with segregation. They make a mistake with okay. They make a mistake with white people make a mistake with segregation. They make a mistake with segregation because they did not know if they put the black people in their own city and the next door is the white people's city. They did not understand that these black people was going to outdo the white people like this. Because they believe we just dumb, stupid monkeys. They believe that. That's their ideology about us. So they didn't really understand who we were. And when they saw us out doing us so bad, this is why they created Ku Klux Klan, because they had to put down what they had caused. Because of segregation, they had caused us to have Black Wall Streets all over the country and to have dynamic cities and to show who we are. So once they figure out they make a mistake, they change. They say, oh, no segregation. We want integration. But this is what they do. They tell the black people, and they put people like Martin Luther King in the front of the crusade to say, oh, no, we want this integration. We want integration for the black people. The black people didn't want integration. The white people was the one say, oh, we got to do something different and change the game and have integration, for we can get rid of all that economic power that they have gained. And we have them integrate with us, and then they just bring their money to us instead of them spending all their money with themselves and being powerful. Okay? So we fall for that game. Martin Luther King fall for that game. Malcolm X peeped the game. He peeped the game. He say no. He say no.
Which is what I was saying. Which what I was saying. And I'm gonna ask you again. Which man fits your ideology?
Malcolm X, of course.
Okay. Thank you. The 50 million Christians you say today, are they not Christian because of Martin Luther King?
Not really, but yeah, okay, you can say that.
Okay. If Malcolm X was lived a bit more longer and preached what he had to say, and he had power and he had people behind him, would you not think that the majority of Africans would be Muslim?
No, they were not, because Malcolm X would change his philosophy, because he would have been just like I am. I grew up a Christian and then a Muslim, and then I grow and see more. And I know I cannot be a Christian or a Muslim. And Malcolm X stayed around long enough, he'd have saw the same thing. He'd have kept preaching the same philosophy, black nationalism, but he would say, no, it will not be under the banner of the Christian. It will not be under the banner of Islam. It will be under our own banner. We will have our own flag. The red, black, and green for the black people is our flag, and we will have our own ideology, our own philosophy, and our own religious concepts, where we will go back to African culture, and we will not participate in their culture. Because if we participate in their culture is about hanging and murdering black people, and we cannot be a part of that, So no, I don't believe that the people will be Islamic. No, I don't believe that.
Like I said earlier, though, the reason why a lot of people is Islamic, because back then you had Islamic and Christianity was the most influential religion on the black people. So you had a lot of Christians with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came converting to something new to our people, but it wasn't new. But in a way to American people, it was new. So they say this is our way. Islam is our way. Come. Christianity is not our way. So you had so many people converting, massive of people was converted to Islam. So that's the reason why we got a lot of black Muslims right now today.
Right. Only because the Christian run from one slave master to another slave master, only because the only history we see is this Christian slave trade. We didn't know nothing about the Islamic slave trade. And this is why we run to Islam. Had we known about the Islamic slave trade like we know about the Christian slave trade, we would say, no, we're not going to run from one master to the other, but we did not know. Now we know better. So
are you telling me Malcolm X did not know about the Arab slave trade?
No, man, they wasn't all down on it. They wasn't down on it because of their belief. They wanted to run. They was running from Christianity. They running from Christianity, enslaver, and they did not know, because that information is not 50 years ago. The information about the Islamic slave trade was not much readily available as the information about Christian slave trade. But now we see, and we know about this Arab slave trade, and it's even longer and worse. It's even longer and worse than the Christian. And now we see, no.
Okay, so when did you find out about Arabic slave trade?
You say when
did the information about when did the information about the Arab slave trade come along? Recently?
More and more in the last 50 years. More and more in the last 50 years. But 50 years before that, 50 years before that, no.
Okay. Now listen to this.
Okay, I'm telling you how it is in America now.
Okay. The black man has this theory that the white man, invented all these sorts of books and stories and historical things. Am I not right? Am I not right? Am I wrong or right?
You saying what now? What you saying now?
I'm saying to you, the black man has this theory today that today's history is falsified when it comes to the original. For example, the black man was in the Middle East, and they were the original Arabs or Muslims or the original Semites. Okay, they wrote books against because they didn't want black people to be influenced and all that kind of stuff. Have you heard that sort of rhetoric before?
Yes, yes.
Okay. One second. So how do you know that history of the slave trade was not part of that manipulation?
Okay, let me tell you why the part of that slave trade one that a part of that manipulation, because you have the original Arab, which are the blacks, which are the Israelites, which are the black ones, and then when they started mixing, which you get the pale Arab, the ones that with the brown skin right now, the Turkish and the Ottoman and all the rest of them, they the ones had the slave trade going on. But they enslaved our people after we taught them about Islam. You see what I'm saying? We taught them about Islam, and then they enslaved us with Islam itself. You see what I'm saying? So they took on what Christianity did to Christian.
Because Christianity was a black religion. It was black Christianity before it was white Christianity. It was black.
Absolutely. So Islam did the same thing.
So you telling me that it was the white man or the Arab, the Turk, who put the black man in Africa, the continent of Africa? They were actually in the Middle East.
Yes, the black man was in all over the globe. This whole globe, we was already here. But when we started mixing after the other, hold up, listen, we was over the whole globe, bro. This is a proven fact. We was over the whole globe. We was here first.
Okay.
There was no other people.
So the 550 million Arabs, what are they? They just offspring of who?
There's the offsprings of the blacks. They also are offsprings of the blacks mixing with other races, like the Indians.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got the Arab. Is it true or not? The Arabs have Indian in them. See, they are offsprings of the Indian and the black. The blacks and okay. So what you got to do is you got to research the traces of how people came about. How did you got white people, Indian people, and Hindu people, and all of these type of people, and then when they went to mixing, what type of people did they make? That's why you got all the Arab people. Arab is not an nationality. Muslim is not a nationality.
Arab means black.
Everybody can go under all type of nationalities can fall under Muslim, but that don't make them their nationality. So when you take from under that the people from under Muslim, you got the Turkish people. You got black people in there. You got
West Indians,
some Hindu people, West Indians. You got all of these different nationalities that's falling under this thing as Muslim, but their nationality will tell who they are in a race. That's what I'm saying. It will tell who they are in the race.
Ethnic group, only one race, the human race. Ethnic group,
right?
Okay.
Only one race, the human race, and all come from blackness. The white people can produce child, and they only gonna produce white child, the Caucasian. The black people can produce every colored child on the planet, including white. two jet black people can produce a straight white child with blonde hair and blue eyes. Nobody else can do this.
Nomad. Arab means nomad, not black.
Huh?
Arab means nomad.
Oh, Semitic.
Yeah, Arab means nomad.
Yeah, this is Semitic people. Black and
you
white.
said Arab.
Black,
you said Arab
white.
means black.
It means nomad because
mean black, and it also means white. It's Semitic.
No, Arab means nomad. Nomad.
Yeah, nomad because they were moving around.
Bring it down how you want. It's a hybrid. They are hybrid. They are not the original black people. They hybrid.
Yeah, he know that, but but he's saying what the meaning means, which he's right. It means nomads because they moved around a lot. They moved from tent to tent and travel. That's what that means. They travel, moved around. So, but this one
dictionary you're reading. It depends on who dictionary you're reading, but I'm agree with that. I'm gonna agree with that.
Okay, check this out, y'all. We finna take a break, right?
Oh yeah.
Just like a 1 or 2 minute break to let this play, and we'll be back after this.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
I haven't heard no one post it to you, and I was going to ask you this question that day. Come on, number one, if you contend it is fabricated and not as good quality as the Quran is, go spring of the Bible. You ain't telling the Quran. Hold on.
Oh.
The Quran. Hey, I got enough. We want it. We're going in. Hold on.
Technical problem.
Tell niggas that the Bible make me. No, sir. I agree. No, sir. Unless you telling me Abraham and Ibrahim. Turn the camera on. Hold on. I'm going to be home. No. We're scientists. We don't have to guess. If the spiritual or force or power that's most people don't. Astronomers. If you can go right to the Sagittarius A constellation, which is right at the Milky Way galaxy, and it is at the core of turning and moving everything that we live in. Identify a black force that's moving the sun and the solar system. It's moving this. So now, if that force is the extraterrestrial, Islam, teach Islam, the power is most dominant in the melanin people. So if you want to see the creator, you want to see the creator, an original man following the laws, we can see God right here. Okay. So it's that simple. It ain't no deep thing. Now the question is, you have to be a historian. You cannot be. The only reason we are mentioning these, they were written by the same people. That's true. It was tampered with by white people to distance history. It's not a mistake that you see people who just got
back in. We can come.
We
can come back in. But see what I'm brother.
Small technical difficulty.
Y'all there?
Yeah. You hear me? Small technical difficulty there. You break up.
It was some difficulty. All right.
Yeah. Well, we heard the gist of the message, though. We heard the gist of the message.
All right. So basically, them brothers right there, they were just talking about, how a lot of people got trapped up in Islam. And one of the brothers, which is Brother Polite, he was saying that the Quran It's an offspring of the Bible. So if you got Muslims trying to put down the Bible, they might as well put down the Quran too, because the Quran
because
is
that's
the
where it
same
came from.
teaching as the Bible, just different. The Bible teaches
That's where it came from.
a savior as Jesus coming, and you know the Quran teaches as the Prophet Muhammad as the savior, almost as a character as Jesus.
A lot. A lot.
So that's basically what they were talking about. But you got this brother Moe said that the Bible was talking about the Prophet Muhammad in the Bible when it said that Jesus or Isa said that he would send you know, the Comforter, and he said that the Comforter is the Prophet Muhammad. So that's what the Christians need to know about in their Bible, that it passes on from the Bible to the Quran. That's what you're saying, right, Moe?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like you say, the Christianity, white Christianity, comes out of black Christianity. Islam comes out of white Christianity. Because Islam does not show up until the 7th century, 650 or so AD. Christianity does not show up to 100, 200 BC. Well, we already been around for hundreds of thousands of years talking our thing already before these guys ever show up. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And whatever they're talking about, you better believe they got it from us. Because all the Europeans, the Greek, the Roman, all, they come to us for knowledge and information. Okay? And the same with the Arab. And like you say, the original Arabs were black. But then they come up with this hybrid of Arab, and then they come up with this other thing. We're going to enslave the black people. Okay, well, the Christian did the same thing. The Christian is a black person, just like they want to call the Christian a Caucasian. No, you're just a child of black people. They want to call the Islamic Arab a Semite. No, you just black people. You all come from us. But then you try to separate yourself and have your own identity, and then in your insanity, because of your lack of humanity, you come and to conquer and enslave the same one who brought you to this world and who taught you civilization. Okay, this is total insanity on behalf of their people. Total insanity on behalf of us by being succumbed by it and falling to it. So it's on them, and it's on us.
Well, it's amazing what you say. It's amazing that the majority of the black race has adopted one or the other faith of the slave master. It shows that, and I'm not being rude here or anything, it shows ignorance and cowardice.
Yeah. Yes.
So the father of the world, the father of the nations, our father, the black man, let his son destroy his identity, which sounds very odd to me, that the child or the so-called African man or black man who had all the knowledge of the world and all that couldn't somehow do what the Europeans or the Middle Eastern people or the Hindus or the Indians or the Asians with the paper and all that, etc., how they all invented things. You think that a race that is superior in knowledge and taught wisdom and taught what's called, something would come of them instead of just being slaves. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. You know what I mean? So I feel bad for how the black race was enslaved. The black race was enslaved by the white man and the Arab man and etc. But like I was telling Anu, there was every type of every nation had slavery. Every culture, there was slavery in it. It just shows to me that the majority of the slaves was the black man, because they looked upon the black man as different to the Caucasian or the brown or the what's called, etc.
Semitic people.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that doesn't happen unless there's infighting between the black man, the black race. See, West Africa sold east of Africa, north of Africa, to the so-called white man and slave man. It was the actual black man with the intelligence and the knowledge that they had that sold their own race away. And I find that really upsetting that the black man couldn't stand up and fight and defend their territory.
Okay, but now I'm sorry to interrupt, but you must add some to those statements you say. I agree 100%, but you must put the bylines in there. You must put the word I'm trying to say, the footnote. You must put the footnote in there, because these Africans who did do these things, you must put in there, these are people who have been colonized. They have been conquered and take over already. You bow down and do this thing as selling their own people slavery. And besides that, you must also add a footnote. Even though the so-called African, and I don't like that word no more than I like the word Africa. I don't like that because we never call ourselves that until the European comes. But we do the work for them and enslave our own people, because we already had the slavery, because the one nation fight against another nation, one lose, and you enslave the people. Yeah, but in slavery had a different thing. We just take control of you and we teach you culture. The black people went, okay, I just had this conversation this morning. When the black people come, when the African, the so-called African come, the people of Akiba land, when the so-called black people come and they colonize all through Europe and elsewhere, they bring a slavery there, but it's a slavery of a different kind. Again, I reiterate on that. The slave people of your family, they part of your family, they live with you, they become doctors, lawyers, everything, just like all your family become. This is the slavery of the black people. But the slavery of the Arab and the European was brutal, shackle slavery, brutal, to treat another human being like an animal. We didn't know anything about that. We never did nothing like that. So when they brought this to us, we didn't understand what we were buying into. It took time before we figure out what we buy into. And then as you read history, you'll see the attitude of the black people in Africa changed. They said, no. We had heard that you done took these people and you brutalize and treat them worse than an animal, and we ain't with it no more. You will see this turn in history, just like you will see if you read Martin Luther King. You will see at one time he said, "Oh, civil rights and all these things for the black people, integration." And then you will see Malcolm X got hold of Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King never preached the same sermon again, because he saw that these people are bringing something to us that is no good for us. Okay, and this is what it took time for the Africans to see in Africa. These people with the slavery thing is not a good deal, because these people are practicing a form of slavery that we don't know nothing about, and we have never seen on this planet before. So you will see. They always talk about the African selling African, but they don't talk about once the African understood who he was selling to and what was going on, did the African change, and then we fight them. They don't talk about that part no more than they talk about how the enslaved black people in America, the ones who were here before the European come, and even the ones they bring here after the European come, they don't talk about how we fight them. They don't talk about these things.
Okay, so who enslaved? Was it the white man that started the slave trade, or was it the Arab?
The Arab. He started the slave trade in the 7th century. Islam come in 622. Islam come in 622 AD. By 650 AD, the Arab is going all over the world enslaving people. The Caucasians don't come into enslavement until after the Moors, the so-called Moors leave Spain. 1492, and then they start this Christian enslavement after 1492.
Okay, the first enslavement started with the Arab, which are our brothers. They was the closest thing to us. So they was the closest thing to be able to slave us, not the whites,
Right.
but the
Right.
Arab. The Arab are immediately brothers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they are.
we taught them from the barbers, the barbarians. That's where barber come from, the barbarians. Okay,
Right.
it was a mixture. It's a after we start mixing and Islam start going in this different form, that's how the slave thing came about. Because they say, okay, well, they taught us Islam, well, we're gonna use Islam against them, and we're gonna enslave them with it. So we're gonna make black seem bad, and black is
Right.
supposed to be servants. And right now they doing this still in some Islamic countries that blacks are servants to the Arab right now. Right now, as we
And
speak,
servant, enslaved.
blacks.
Because
Enslaved.
there's no authority. There's no one that's ruling the country. There's no rules. There's nothing. People are dying of hunger in Libya, stuff like that, and they're selling black people for money.
I have the brothers
Anyway.
calling my phone. I have the brothers for the last 5-6 years calling my phone from Morocco, what they call Morocco, which was Timbuktu. This is Africa, Timbuktu, and now Morocco, because controlled by Islamic Arab control, now it's Morocco. And I have the brothers call my phone from Morocco, and they are telling me how slavery is still exists. They selling black people on the block, just like they did here in America for 400 years, and just like they did elsewhere in all the Islamic countries for 1,500 years. They still continue to this day. Morocco, Libya, all these Arab Islamic controlled countries in Africa, and they still continue slavery right now down to today. And I mean, they selling black people on the block by $400 for a black man to buy. You can go buy, an Arab can go buy, Islamic Arab in Morocco can go buy a black man for $300-400, a black woman. Okay, and it's going on in Libya, it's going on in many other countries, it still go on in India, it still go on all through what they call the Middle East. Ain't no Middle East, that's Africa. Ain't no Middle East. Ain't no Sinai Peninsula. You can call it Sinai Peninsula you want, it's Africa. That's just a peninsula of Africa. Okay. And these things are still going on to this day. And the world has turned in their eye to it, you know? No, ain't nothing changed. Colonialism, enslavement of black people still exists to this day. But only they play it down on a different way. So it's acceptable to the people, and the people don't rise up and fight back. You know, this is what it's all about. Well, we're going to play the game where the people will not get upset and fight back. Okay, this is how they play the game here in America. They play the game everywhere. We're going to give you just enough for you to be happy enough and you feel you included enough for you will not rise up and fight back. Okay, this is the game. Because not that the Africans didn't fight.
Go ahead, Maury. Go ahead, Maury.
No, in Arab countries like Syria, we call Bilad al-Sham, which is the children of Shem, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, and part of Iraq. There's no black people there, no African slaves in those countries. So why do you say there's no black slaves in these countries? As you're saying, slaves. There's no black slaves in these countries.
Oh yes, there is. No, you misinformed on that. Oh yes, there is.
Okay.
They still continue to sell black people into slavery in those Arab countries. You need to check deeper. Yes, there is. Okay. And the people call my phone direct. They don't even go on Facebook. They call my phone direct and tell me how they are being murdered and enslaved over there. Just like we continue to be murdered and enslaved right here in America. Oh yes, they are.
Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Palestine, and Iraq, black people being enslaved and sold.
They have black people in all those countries, and they are they don't call them slaves. They call them second-class citizenship. fourth-class citizenship. They make up some new names that don't seem, they change the English language is racist, and it changes its language to appease the people, for the people won't fight back. So they don't call you slave no more. They don't call you slave no more. They call you second-class citizen, for you don't want to raise up and fight back on slave. You know, they want to make you feel personally included, but you will not fight back. This is the dilemma what we face today.
Okay. Well, I've never heard of the black man being sold in those countries, led as Shem, children of Shem. There are black men almost as black as not black, but I would say maybe I don't know whose color, like a light brown, a dark brown. Men, Arabs, or people who live a normal life in those countries that are actual normal citizens. My dad himself is very dark. You can say,
yes,
I don't know if you know that. So I don't know if you know that guy Kalam from Titans TV. He's a dark man, black man. My dad's probably darker than him.
Yeah.
So I don't know your angle. So you think all over the Arab nations where they speak Arabic, there's slavery, black slavery.
Yes, and not just Arabic, every continent on the planet enslaved, and they don't call it enslavement no more because they don't want the people to be furious and fight back and think they in bondage. So they call them, okay, you citizen, but you second-class citizen. Even in India, all the Indians, and you go to India, and what will you see in India? You go to the north of India, you're going to see a bunch of high yellow Indian people from India, and they in power. When you go to the middle part of India, where you're going to see brown people who call themselves India, and they live a second-class citizenship. And then you go to the south of India, and where you're going to see the black-looking Indian people from India, and they live at the bottom, fourth-class citizen. And then you go to the islands around India, and where you're going to see? You're going to see these black Africans who have been expelled from the main landmass of India, and they've been put on these islands because they are the black African and they will be oppressed. So they don't call it racism and they don't call it slavery over there. They call it class citizenship. This is a fancy word for slavery.
So it's a world thing. It's not just the Arab thing. It's a world thing.
Yes.
Everyone enslaves the Arabs. Okay.
Everybody enslaved the black people, not the Arab. Okay. Everybody enslaved the black people. We at the bottom of the totem pole on every continent, including America.
Okay.
Even the motherland. Even the motherland.
In China?
No, the motherland, Kivu land, Africa. Even on the motherland, we fourth-class citizens, even in our own land. The Arab, the Muslim, the Chinese, the Christian, he first-class citizen even in our own land in Africa. But we second-class, fourth-class citizen, even in our own land. So this has continued. It has been going on and it continues to this day. And this is why we must push to get information and knowledge straight, where we can straighten our head out and we can rise up, unify, and defeat this oppression, this insanity that's being brought against us. Because you say, well, if we the smartest people and we ran everything, how can they come overrun us? Because we're humanitarians by nature. The African is humanitarian by nature. We're not the warrior to go, barbaric warrior to go out and just murder everybody. Read the Christian Bible. Read the Christian Bible, and the Christian Bible tell you, our God said go murder everybody and run them out the land. What kind of God is that?
Yeah.
What God gonna tell you to go to somebody else's land and murder everybody and take the land? Who God is that? What God is that?
I think you're talking about when Sodom and Gomorrah, was it?
Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
because of the homosexuality, their God destroyed Solomon, Gomorrah because of the homosexuality.
Not even them.
But we all know that the
ancestors
is homosexual.
Yeah, the offspring got sort of small. The offspring, even the offspring were destroyed 400 years down the track as well. In the Bible, their generations to come were killed because of what their forefathers done.
Why would they print this in their Bible? Why would they print even the God, their own God, come and destroy their own people because of homosexuality? And then the Pope is sitting right there today and he's practicing and preaching homosexuality, but it's yet in your holy Bible. And then the Pope today, he said, guess what? They just put this out about a month ago or 2 months ago. The Pope is sit on in the Vatican right now, who goes and kneels down on Sunday before a Black Madonna child in the Vatican. The same Pope, he come out right now and he just say, guess what? The Bible, our Bible was wrong. And our God was wrong too. The homosexuality is just perfectly fine and okay. I tell you one thing he did not say. He did not say, you're going to get a pass into heaven with homosexuality. He did not say that.
It was what the Pope, the Roman Catholic Church?
He did not say the Catholic people believe that with homosexuality, you're going to get a pass and you're going to get into heaven. Because their whole thing is, if you ain't this, if you ain't that, you got to be this, you got to be that to get into our heaven. Okay, that's his whole game. Okay, but this Bible say, no, you cannot be homosexual, not accepted, you ain't going to heaven. Their own Bible state this many, many times. I went to seminary school. I studied this Bible. So even though their own Bible say this homosexuality is not acceptable and you will not be accepted into their heaven, now they Pope come and say, no, the Bible is wrong, the God was wrong, and homosexuality is great. We're going to have this thing.
Politics. It's more politics than religion.
Yeah, politics, man. Because we have known every European race that's on the planet, they have all fallen. The Greek, the Roman, and before the Greek, the Etruscans. Even before the Greek, the Etruscans, the Greeks, the Romans, all same thing. All homosexual societies, all destroyed from within. Nobody beat them in battle and conquered them. They destroyed themselves from within with this homosexual and this barbaric mentality. They destroyed themselves from within.
So what about the Islamic Empire?
Well, they running good right now, but they running out of gas. I can tell you that much.
No, you said the empires. You said the empires expanded and went, but all was pushed back at the end of the day. Alexander the Great pushed back to Macedonia, Persia pushed back to Persia, Mongolia pushed back to Mongolia, Romans pushed back to Italy, etc., etc. The only conquerors that still live on the land today and have not been pushed back are the Arabs from the Middle East to West Africa. So that says something.
Yeah, Northern and West Africa. They conquered Northern and West Africa.
So that says something that they were never pushed back. They maintained the land. Yeah. Until Europe conquered and divided in the early 20th century, when when the Ottoman Empire was infiltrated, and the Caliphate was destroyed. That's when the Muslims lands started dividing into Syria, Lebanon, all this kind of stuff. Before then, there wasn't such names as. No. There was Greater Syria. There was Mesopotamia. There was Egypt. There's such thing as Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, stuff like that. There was Palestine, but
no Israel, no ancient Israel. They killed me. The ones hollering, "I'm Black Israelite," and we're from ancient Israel. Is no ancient Israel. It did not exist. and you hollering you're a Hebrew. It did not exist. This was made up by the Caucasian. That did not exist. You hollering to be a black Israelite. You hollering to be something that didn't even exist. This is a fairy tale. You hollering about Moses and Jesus. These people never exist. This is fairy tale. You know.
I don't agree with that. Look, there's some sort of I don't know.
You know why I speak.
Slavery did happen.
You know why I speak so dogmatic and so positive about what I say? Because the black people from Kemet, they call Egypt, they wrote our history on the wall in stone for a reason. Because they knew these suckers was going to try to come in here and lie and try to change things later. And they say, you cannot erase what we wrote in stone. We already wrote the history there. We the only ones writing history. And then you guys come along and you want to write in some books, some other things. But when the people can go back, they can look on the walls written in stone and they can see the real history.
But so did the Assyrians and so did the Persians.
Yeah, they all come in. But when did they come into Egypt? When I don't
Yeah,
like that word.
but see, you got the original Persians, which was the blacks, and the original Assyrians, which was black. Now the Persians that you see today are not the original Persians. The Babylonians,
no, they hybrid.
Aryans.
They not
Aryan.
You got
Iran.
and then you just like you got the Egyptians right now. Those are not the original Egyptians that's in Egypt right now. That's the people that conquered. They conquered that land, and then they claimed they took on the titles of Egyptians as the original Egyptians. Yeah, but when and Egyptian is a Greek word. That's not the original word we use. Egyptian is Greek.
Kemet. Or Site.
Yeah, the Kemet.
Yeah, you can say Ta-Nehisi, any of those names. But not Egypt. Not Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt is Greek.
But when you see the pictures, you don't see a black man, you see a brown man.
No. You see a black man, you see a brown man, and you also see a black. I'm talking about black. I can show you some pictures right now in the back chat where you see dark black on stone Egyptians.
Right, but I can show you
when you say Egypt, in my head, all I can see is that thing on their head and a brown man. I can't recall a black man on the walls and stuff like that. I can recall a brown man.
Go on my Facebook page and you will see.
That's what I can remember.
The relief. Go on my Facebook page and you will see the relief off the wall there in Kemet. You will see the reliefs on the wall. And they got people from twice as black as dark as me to black as me to I don't know how brown you are, and then to all the way to fair skin complexion, even with blonde hair. They show us, they depict us, even with blonde hair.
Yeah,
the black people, because we produce every color of the rainbow. We produce every color of the rainbow.
Yeah, we produce everything.
The Pharaoh was the Pharaoh black. The Pharaoh. The Pharaohs of Egypt, were they black?
Yes, yes. Of course, the Pharaohs were black. Okay.
Yeah, they were high yellow. They were high yellow. They were brown skin. They were dark black, and they were black as a grape. Black as a purple grape.
Come in all color. We brown. We dark. We light. We come in all color.
Yeah, it's not a matter of color.
When you say black people, don't say black people as only dark skinned people, because all black people are not only dark skinned. They brown skinned as well. Like me, I'm a brown skinned man.
My mama's skin is white. She had blue-gray eyes and straight hair, and she's a black woman. Her family come from the Cherokee of Georgia in the United States. They were here before even slavery and white people ever come. And they were already here producing all different colors. They want to say, oh, slavery is how they get light skin. No, it's not. We're producing all color of skin before any white people ever show up.
Okay.
So it's not about skin color. And this is another program that I want to do on this melanin thing. And I'm going to shut that down and stop all this nonsense about melanin.
Yeah.
This is European term. And I'm going to shut all that down.
With carbon.
But when it comes to skin tone,
carbon.
When it comes to skin tone, the I'm not talking about inferiority. When it comes to skin tone, it's actually the brown skin that is the most healthiest, because the black skin can absorb melatonin, but it cannot absorb vitamin C. And with the white man, he gets
vitamin D.
He can't vitamin, yeah, but he gets burnt. But the brown man, neither does the vitamin C not coming in. He can absorb the vitamin C from the vitamin D or the C from the sun, and he cannot get burnt.
Okay,
so
well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what we have learned since they ran that on us, because they ran that on us and we swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. But let me tell you this: the human body, the black man, is not made out of vitamin. There's no such thing as the vitamin in the human body. It's minerals.
No,
we make out of minerals from the earth. We ain't got nothing to do with no protein. We ain't got nothing to do with no melanin. We ain't got nothing to do with no vitamin.
We're talking about the sun, what the sun gives out. The sun gives out vitamin D, and it also can burn your skin. The black man cannot get burnt like the white man, but the brown man neither gets burnt or neither. But they say the black man can't absorb the vitamin D because his skin is too thick. The white man gets burnt. His skin is too thin, too pale.
They can run that.
But the brown man can absorb the vitamin D from the sun, and he can also not get burnt.
Okay, you're missing what I'm saying. Vitamin D come from the sun is not what we are made out of. We are made out of mineral, copper, carbon, copper, hydrogen. These are things we are made out of. We're not made out of no vitamin D. We don't need no damn vitamin D. We don't even know what the hell a vitamin D is. We don't need no vitamin D no more than we need water. We need the things, minerals. The minerals.
Hey, let me ask
my point is...
Okay, Moses, I'm going to answer your point. Moses, hold on. I heard you, Moses. Let me answer your point. You said that the brown man don't get burned by the sun as the black man and the white man. But how not? Who is the brown man you consider? The Arab man? That's who you consider the brown man? Who is the brown man to you? Arabia. Okay, why do the Arabian man wear all of this dashiki, which protect his skin from the sun if he don't get burnt? He wear that dashiki because it protects his skin from the sun.
No, that's actually worn from the sand, the whiplash of the sand. And I know this for a fact. They wear it to cover their faces from the whiplash of the sand.
Yeah, but they also wear it from the heat of the sun, because it's a known fact that dashiki, it protects you from the sun. No matter how hot it is, your skin stay cool under the dashiki because it's protecting it from the rays of the sun. But actually, the brown man, as you consider as the Arab man, can get burnt faster than the black man or the brown man as a black man, because he's more white. He's more white than the
Yes, but when you want to find a neutral ground, you don't want to be burnt like the white man, and you don't want to have lack of vitamin D like the black man. But if you're in the middle, where you neither get burnt so much, and where you can absorb vitamin D, that's a neutral ground. This is what I've heard somewhere. Someone was talking about how the black man cannot be burnt, but he can't absorb the vitamin D as much as the white man. But the white man can't absorb the sun because he's too pale. But the brown man can both take the sun more than a white man, but not as much as the black man. But he can take more vitamin D than the black man, and vice versa.
Okay, again, let me reiterate. Let me interrupt. I don't know where you heard it, but I know where it comes from. The Europeans' theory about black people, and they don't know us because they're not us. We don't need no damn vitamins. Vitamins is not a part of our mentality and our makeup.
Or our makeup.
We are made out of minerals, not vitamins. We're not made out of vitamins. We're made out of minerals.
From the sun, we get electricity light from the sun. We don't get mineral from the sun. We get electricity light.
Vitamins. You say we don't get vitamins from the sun.
Yo, we don't get vitamins from the sun.
You don't get vitamins from the sun.
No. We do not get vitamins.
No, vitamins is not a part of our biological makeup. There's no vitamins in our biological makeup. There's only minerals.
The doctor says to you, get some more sun. You need some, you need some more sun because you're lacking vitamin D. What does he mean by that?
Bullshit.
Okay, that's made up.
The doctor's talking shit.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the European theory. That's the European theory of the black man.
I told you that already, Maury. I told you about Dr. Sabi. I said that he don't have no doctors, but he proved these doctors wrong on what they say and their terminology about vitamins. When he said that we are carbon, and
carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Right.
I'm not preaching.
That's the lifeline. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. No melanin, no vitamin.
I'm not preaching no superiority stuff here. I'm not doing this the white man theory. I'm just saying in general. I've heard this somewhere. That's all. Okay, you have a version. Other people have a version. I don't even believe in this. I don't care about this version. I'm not playing the superiority card here. Never have, never will.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You bring up the melatonin, and I bring you what I've heard. So I'm just.
I'm not going to bring you nothing about melatonin because that's a European concept, and I'm not going to bring that to you. That's the European way of trying to explain the black people, and that's not what we taught them, and that ain't what we are. And I'm not going to bring you nothing about no melanin or no vitamins or no protein.
Dealing with melatonin, saying as carbon. They trying to say melatonin as carbon, but they got that wrong. That's just a word they made up to try to describe the carbon.
Why is it that history and everything when it comes to the black race is all fake and made up?
Because the European Asiatic are writing the history because they are conquerors, and they want to hold us down. They want to hold us down, and to hold somebody down, you will not teach them their history and who they are and what they are. You're not going to tell us that we were the kings and queens before they ever show up. You're not going to tell us we made from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen and the minerals from the earth instead of the vitamins and the proteins and all this bull crap they make up. They do all this to suppress our knowledge of ourselves. Why? For we will not rebel and fight back against them.
So what of the Arab? So in history we have the Arab slave trade. You said came about 15 years ago. So why do you choose to accept that sort of history from the white man?
Well, come again with that. I missed that. Please come again.
You don't want to take history from the white man, okay? And you think it's all concocted and made up and all that. But why, when it comes to something negative towards the black man, you want to accept that version? But you don't want to accept the negative versions. For example, the Arab slave you say was exposed 15 years ago. Why are you accepting that history, what the white man has written and talked about?
We would not accept that because no one has the right to tell another what they are and who they are, because they don't know. You're not walking our shoe. We're not made out of what we made out of. There's no way in the hell you're going to tell me you understand who we are and what we made out of better than we understand ourselves. Because we've been here umpteen million years. You only been here a little while. And matter of fact, you are our children's. And our children do not teach the parents.
Mm-hmm. I think you misunderstood me. I'm saying the history part. You choose the Arab slave trade.
Let me answer what he said, too. Let me answer what he's saying.
Okay.
We do not accept the Arab history or the white man history. We don't accept neither history. That's the reason why a lot of people don't agree with what Dr. Malachi Z. York saying about mainstream Islam. We do not even deny Islam. You know what I'm saying? The way what Tahuti saying it, because Tahuti still have to be taught about Islam, because Islam, in the fashion of its original pristine, is our way of life, but not the way that the Arab had got hold of it. And I'll talk about that later on. But the history, what history do the Arab got of us? Every time they talk
Are you
about
saying Abrao or Arab? I can't understand what you say. You're saying Abrao or Arab?
Arabic.
Arab. Okay.
Yeah, Arabic or the Arabs.
Arab.
The Arabs.
Right. Semitic. You know.
Okay, I
The
can
Semitic
say
people.
Now, if you say Semitic, we are Semitic people. They ain't Semitic people. We are Semitic people. But Semitic is just a term that they came up with too.
Half black, half white. That's all it's explaining. It's half African, half European.
It's two ways to say Semitic. And then they'll say one way of spelling is wrong and the other way of spelling is right. But see, these the tricks that they play with you. They play these tricks with you.
What we know is this is a hybrid people off of the African race. That's what we do understand.
So Africa was all over the world, and these were all pushed back to Africa.
Everything.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
And I don't like the term Africa, but we're just using that right now for communication. But
what is the term for that land, for that continent? What is the proper name?
Dr. Ben give us the oldest one. Akibulan. He give us the most ancient and oldest name for that land. Akibulan. Akibulan is the black people's land. That's what Akibulan. The black people's land.
But if you go back to
that's the black people's land, why is that called the black people's land and not the rest of the world?
The same way Kim, black. Kim means black. K-E-M, black.
But
land.
That's still Africa. It's still Africa. It's not any other continent. It's still in the continent of Africa.
Yes, it is.
So
and what I'm telling you is we have always identified. See, when we say the word black, when we say the word black, we are not identifying our skin color. We identifying the carbon that brings us the what they would call God. Carbon is what gives us life. There's nothing living on this planet without carbon. If it ain't got carbon, there ain't life. When they want to go test some old bones or some old fossils, what do? They don't go do melanin tests. They do carbon tests, carbon dating. They don't do melanin dating tests. They do carbon dating tests. And this is why the black people identify with carbon, black.
Hey, let's take a 2-minute break, y'all. Let's take a 2-minute break and we'll be back after this break. 2-minute break.
Wonderful.
2 minutes.
Wonderful.
So what are we doing? Are we doing like a live show or something?
Hold up, 2-minute break, bro. 2-minute break. Hold on.
Okay.
So for our people, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm not a religious basher. Or now religious people say what they do is not religious. Right. So what I'm saying, if it's gonna drugs, not gonna fuck that. All right. Right now, if it's a stepping stone that they can use to cultivate themselves, then we walk with it. But so long as the people teaching or doing it, now let me finish. Now I'm not fucking that shit. Now let me finish, man. Man. People that are doing, and the people that in the nation are convincing you that you should not study other reading material because this religion is it, then we know that we have insecurity.
Right, well, is Islam a man-made religion? Did God come down and write the Quran, or is that man-made as well?
All those religions are man-made, man.
That's what I'm saying. There you go. I don't want you to fuck this. Keep it real.
They're all man-made religions.
Here's the imam right here that took on Dr. Ali Muhammad. Imam Bashir.
Oh, what's up, brother?
Run over here, brother.
Peace, brother.
You don't come to Harlem and don't get it in. You got to get it in.
Come on, let's do it,
You don't get this work right now. Now, Bashir.
I agree with him.
You agree that Islam is man-made?
It always came through man.
Right, so that means it was man-made. God ain't had nothing to do with it.
No, that's not what that means. That means that there was a message given to man. Man took it in his mind, and then he put it on books, so on and so forth.
So are you aware that the Arabs came into Africa, raped and kidnapped us, and we were slaughtered in the name of Allah? If we didn't take our shahada, just like when the Jews was ran out of there, they had to convert to Christianity just to stop themselves from being slaughtered. So just like African people, they had to convert to Islam by force. Are you aware of that?
First of all,
does such a story even exist?
Yes, go ahead.
Let me start here. When you're dealing with Islam, you got to deal with Islam versus what the people do, because people can always go astray from the teachings. So when the Quran expresses how you deal with mankind, and you see the opposite treatment of that, you can't, give that to the people that claim in Islam. However, scholars such as Sheikh Anta said that, when the Islam came in, it came through peace, and actually the Berbers, they took the message and gave it to the African people, and that's how accepted Islam. Now, later on, you had robberies amongst, those that have already accepted Islam, such as in the Sudan. In the Sudan, you have problems with Muslims and Christians. However, those Muslims that we're talking about are black people. Where are you going to stop being so selective in the information? Because that mentioned that when the Muslims came in, they came in peace. They didn't come in just like. This is what they're telling you. That's easy to show and prove. At least 5, 6 different scholars, brother. Islam in itself has been the most powerful force to raise black people. And it's unfortunate that we want to, what really happens is we take the Bible and then we say, religion is bad. But really, we're talking about Christianity. Because nobody can mess with this Holy Quran. Nobody can mess with this Holy Quran. No. Yes, of course it is. Of course it has. Of course it hasn't been taken. No, sir. And if you want to bring up Uthman ibn Affan, and Quran verse and so on and so forth.
Here's a couple questions, man.
All right, go ahead.
Here's a couple questions. Which one comes first? Arabic or Arabic Fusha or Greek?
Arabic.
Which one comes first? Arabic Fusha or French?
Arabic.
Okay. So when a person makes salat, if we go into that word etymologically, we're going to find salute in French. It comes from a French word.
Wait.
Now, it's
No etymology.
Y'all, we back on.
Let me talk to you.
Oh
But
boy,
y'all see
them
what these
brothers
brothers
was
saying,
heavy, man. Them brothers was heavy into it.
Yeah, them brothers
Salat.
going heavy.
Salli. So the word salat comes from the word salli, not salute. Salli.
Okay.
Okay, so this is that Imam Bashir?
That's not.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you send me that clip in the back chat, please?
All right, I got you. I'm gonna cut it off now so we can go back to our chat.
Yeah, can you send me that clip? Can you send me that clip in the back chat?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they were heavy. They were heavy into it. They were very heavy into it.
Was that the Hebrew Israelite?
No, that's Brother Polite. That's one of my brothers.
Hebrew Israelite?
He studied from Dr. York.
Yeah, very aggressive. I find them very aggressive.
So you saying
Very,
people who study? So you saying all people who study under Dr. York are aggressive people?
I find that the Hebrew Israelites are very aggressive. Every time I watch them, they're yelling and screaming. I don't know why.
They have to be. They have to be that way.
That's not the way, brother. That's not the way to intimidate. It's not the way.
No, that is not the way.
Brother Bashir held himself and was content, and he was explaining, and he was with politeness and everything. You get the other man yelling and asking questions with sarcasm and patronizing. That's not the way, brother. That's not the way. You don't go and blame the brother. If the brother wants to follow the faith and ideology, he has the right to follow that ideology. No man has the right to tell him that you cannot follow that. So when you get another black man telling another black man that this and this happened to you, this and this happened to you, I find that very, how can I say,
dogmatic,
deceptive, and I blame the teacher of that person. And who is the teacher of that person? You said
Dr. Malachi York.
Dr. Malachi York. Okay, can you put his name for me in the back chat so I can study about him?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let me tell
brother
you about these guys.
I got him.
Let me tell you about these guys. this black Hebrew Israelite. They have to be so dogmatic and overpowering in their presentation because there is not found nowhere else in history. You the only people saying it. And matter of fact, you just start saying this. It just show up in history. It's not in our past history. But you want to try to bring it in as though it's part of our past history. Okay? And so this is why they're so aggressive and dogmatic, because they want to try to force their thing on you, just as the Christians have forced their thing on us, just as like Islam has forced their thing on us, and the Hebrew Israelite is attempting to do the same. But there's no such thing as the Hebrew Israelite. You are invisible people and you don't exist. You just made this up just yesterday.
Okay, so why is the brother? Why is the brother?
There's no ancient Israel. There's no ancient Israel.
Okay, why is the brother saying that the root word of salat is salute from the French? When that's wrong.
No,
the root word of salat
come from Allah. Salat come from Allah and
no, the word salat comes from salah.
Okay, why you ain't listen to what he was saying? Why didn't you listen to what he said before, you had me to cut it off? I'm gonna go back to what he was saying so you can see what he was saying himself. Listen to what the brother was saying so you can get what he was saying himself.
No, I don't want to listen to it because I already know the character of the person, so I know what he's going to be spewing out. What he's going to be.
That's another thing with the character of a person. You don't know the character of nobody, bro. You automatically judging, bro. You automatically. You jump straight to assumption and already know the
You can tell the character of the person by how he speaks and how he preaches, and the way the brother was speaking.
The character of a person just at that moment, because at that time he was going through with another person.
Yeah, okay, brother. Anu. See how I just mentioned Brother York and how you all of a sudden became aggressive because you find this man as some sort of prophet or something. Well, I can tell you this brother York is manipulative and he has an agenda, and he is being funded by another agenda. So there's no unity. There is no African unity in his. There is no African
history.
Hold up. Too. Let me say this before anybody say something. Everybody gonna say that, bro. You know why people gonna say that? If you don't understand a leader, you always gonna say they are manipulative, or they have some type of agenda because it don't fit your agenda. That's why.
Okay.
The same way they did with Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? They say he had an agenda. They say he was manipulated and deceived.
No,
right?
I don't believe Elijah Muhammad. I don't believe Elijah Muhammad was a Muslim.
Okay, you can say you don't believe he was a Muslim, but how many millions of people say that he was a Muslim? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're not interested in being Muslim. They're interested in saying that black people
Muslim.
How the fuck can they make it fit in
the only Muslim that came from the Nation of Islam was Malcolm X. He was a true Muslim. He came back from Hajj and he said there is no such thing as black, white, red, pink, purple. And the Nation of Islam couldn't take that. So him with some Zionist...
Black Nation Islam, it's a farce. Islam covers all kind of people are involved in Islam. Every color under the rainbow is
under
That's what Malcolm X.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this.
He's a true Muslim.
Okay, Mo, let me say this. Mo, is a true Muslim in Saudi Arabia and them other countries, do you have blacks led in the Adhan? Like how what the brother name who led the Adhan for the Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah, most likely, he would have some blacks doing that, because they have nice voices.
That's Bilal, bro. That's the black.
Farah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad's teacher. Farah Muhammad.
I know. Even the prophet himself was a black man.
They never went to Mecca like Malcolm X.
I know. Listen, bro. Even the prophet himself was a black man, right?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm talking about the Arab over there in their countries. Do you see any blacks led in the Adhan?
No, there is black people that lead the Adhan. There's a black man who leads the prayer.
The black in the country is enslaved, just like
That's
the black
right.
in this country
That's
is
right.
enslaved, just
Absolutely.
like the
The
black
blacks
in
are
Africa is
enslaved. They're
enslaved.
not
Okay.
letting nothing over there, bro.
Okay, you keep listening to your brother York,
I ain't
and he will
listening to
take you on a
bro. I'm telling y'all
ride.
what I know, bro. How
He
you
will
gonna
take
listen
you.
to brother y'all when I'm
No,
telling
He
you what
get
I
he
know?
This
he
You
guy's
get
don't know
loud,
who
so
bro.
he
I've
This
been
gonna
at.
guy's
You
talking
don't
he's
know
gonna
who I've
he's
been
gonna
at. You don't know what I
he,
know. How you
he,
gonna just gonna bring up York?
no,
you're the
no,
main
no,
Yo,
no.
you know
We
this
talk
guy,
to these
this
people.
so-called Muslim, but
They
we're
are
talking
being
shit. He's
enslaved.
a
They
fucking
are
white
being
man from the
enslaved
Middle
just as
East, you
we
know?
are. They are being enslaved
yeah
just as
this
we are. We're
They
not talking
enslaved
about
over
we
there,
listen
bro.
to one person tell us this.
Yeah,
No, the
you way
people are
somewhere
telling you
else.
they are
Oh,
being
shit.
You
enslaved.
way somewhere else where you a black man and you living nice right now, but you ain't over here in America talking your Muslim stuff. So you can feel comfortable where
Right.
you at, but you
So,
come over
hold on, I
here
know. So you're the Muslim, right?
I've been Muslim before. I practice
Nah, no,
Muslim,
no, bro, just calm
Islam.
down.
I practice Islam and
Bro, I'm
Christianity before I ever came to
yo, just
even my
calm,
own
bro.
family, the Yoruba,
But I'm
into
asking, I
Yoruba
know, bro.
culture.
Oh, what
Right,
that was,
I got you.
Marshall? What that was you asked, Marshall?
I know. I said, I'm just saying, like, are you a Muslim, bro?
I'm Muslim by
No,
definition, bro. Hold on. Let me answer this to Hootie, not to. I'm a Muslim by
Right.
definition, not by
Right. So
orthodox standards
basically,
or
hold on. So you're
mainstream.
gonna be claiming,
right.
that anybody who submits his will to the one of Allah is a Muslim, right?
No, I don't say anybody who submit
Hold
to
on. So what do you?
hold on.
Hold
Let me
on.
finish. Let me
Right.
finish what I'm saying. I don't say anybody who submit their submission to anything is a Muslim because you can submit your submission to a rock.
That's
You can
right.
submit
That's
your
correct.
to the carbon or the
That's
black,
right.
black stone and
That's
say
right.
you
That's
just
right.
a
That's
Muslim. That
correct.
don't make you no
Right. Yeah.
Muslim, bro.
Right.
Anybody a
Exactly. So how do
Muslim
you
by
define
who
a Muslim then, bro? Right.
I'm going to tell you. I was just going to tell you. A Muslim is anybody. They don't have to go by mainstream Islam or the Orthodox Islam. They can be a Muslim just by being peaceful. That is one who are peace. You got
That's
Muk.
problematic, bro.
Muk,
No.
Muk hold up. Muk and Arabic mean one, right?
Right.
Muk
Oh,
mean one, and
exactly. It
you
means
got
one.
Slam. Slam mean peace. So you put it together, Muk Slam. One who is a peace, bro. That's it.
I don't dispute that, bro. I know that. I don't disagree with that. But listen.
Yeah, but
See,
that's not what the
hold
Arab
on.
Muslim is saying, though.
Just
That's not
hold
what
on.
the Arab Muslim is
Hold
saying.
on. I know we got two
Ain't no peace
definitions,
in their
right?
ass.
Hold on. We have the linguistic definition of what a Muslim is, right? So basically, from a linguistic perspective, anybody who submits his will to the one of Allah is a Muslim, right? But if you want to be a Muslim according to the Quran, you have to believe in a prophet, the angels, the books, and so on. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're
Muhammad,
basically
all that.
hold on. So you're a Muslim based on a linguistic definition, right? But when it comes to being a Muslim, according to what the prophet was saying, you're not a Muslim. You see?
No. I already studied under the Orthodox. See, that's Orthodox stuff. That's dogmatic stuff. Already studied under the dogmatic stuff as being a Muslim. So hold up. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you talk. I already studied under the Orthodox and the dogmatic of being a Muslim, meaning from the Quran, reading and taking my salat, taking my shahada. I already did all that. So when I went back and did the etymology and the research of what a Muslim is. What? No, what?
Come on now. We talk different.
Hold on, yeah, Moe, you don't need to make fun of the guy, you know. Let him talk, bro.
I'm not making fun of bro. We're all laughing, but what are you talking, man? Get pagan.
Okay, you can say pagan, but I can.
I love this brother. Where you getting from?
I know. Please continue what you were saying, bro. Let's go.
Okay, what I was saying, I said that I was making salat according to the dogmatum, meaning as following the Quran, the 5 pillars, and all of that. I was doing all of that, which made me a Muslim according to what you said, right? But when I went outside of that to Sufi, have you ever studied the Sufi Islam?
No, that's not even Islam.
Okay, so when you go to the Sufi Islam, you go deeper into Islam.
That's kind of open-minded Islam, bro. Like Sufism is not Islam, obviously.
Well, even here in America, you have the Sunnis and the others.
Hold on, I know. I don't. Listen, listen. I don't put labels on myself, right? I'm not a Sunni. I'm not a Shia. I'm a Muslim, right? I just make like I'm a Muslim, right? I'm somebody who submits his will to the one to the Most High, right? So I don't like put these labels are political, right? Sunni, Shia, Hanafi, you know. No, I don't do that.
right?
Right.
Well, I mean, this is their game. This
I
is
agree.
their person's
That's a
game. Divide
political
and
game,
conquer.
right? You're right. You're right. That's a
That's
political
their
game, bro.
game. Divide and
Right.
conquer.
Right.
Even if
That's
you're
right.
going
That's
to
right.
be
You're right.
Islamic, divide and
That's why I
conquer.
agree.
Even if you're going to be
That's why-
Christian, okay?
I'm
you are
somebody who
Baptist,
believes in the
you're
Quran and the
Christian,
final
you're-
prophet of God. You know, that's what I believe in.
Yeah, well, divide and conquer is the game. You can be a Christian, and the Christians all fight each other. I'm a Baptist. I'm a Methodist. I'm
Right.
a
That's
Pentecostal.
right. Mhm,
I'm a
mhm.
see. Their game is divide and conquer. I don't
That's
care
what I'm
which
saying. Everyone
direction
gonna
we
say
run
the
in
same
for
thing
cover.
about their religion. So I got something to say to Marshall. Marshall, let me say this, Marshall. So you saying that if no one don't believe the Quran, if no one believe the Quran, that means that they are not going to heaven or going where you're going. The whole world is going
Quran,
to heaven.
I know.
Quran,
I know.
No, it's a
Quran,
difference
I don't-
between the
Quran.
Quran and Quran, bro. That's why I say Quran. It's a difference
That's
between the
Quran.
Quran and Quran. The Quran was written by Abdullah. I don't study what
Right.
Abdullah wrote.
Abdullah.
You study what Abdullah wrote, bro. I go beyond what
Hold
Abdullah
on.
wrote.
So,
Abdullah is
hold on.
just
I know.
He's
Get
not-
get
Well,
to the point, bro.
go ahead and say what you're saying, but I want to add this footnote. Ibi Abdullah, who is the first Muslim known to the world in 622, who brought himself to the world, he was illiterate. He was a shepherd king. He couldn't read or write his own goddamn language if he wanted to. If Allah threw the Quran and hit him in the head, he couldn't read it. He was illiterate. He was a slave shepherd. So don't tell me that Ibi Abdullah, who was the first of the Islamic Muslims, wrote the Quran, because he couldn't even read or write his goddamn self.
He didn't write the Quran.
Hold
He
on.
recited the Quran.
The Quran was memorized and then it was written down, right? By the followers and the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Okay, whatever. Same as the Judeo-Christian Bible, who they supposed to wrote 50, 100 years after Jesus Christ's death. You wrote the words of Jesus Christ 50, 100 years after he died. Jesus Christ ain't nobody said Jesus Christ wrote nan word in the Judeo-Islamic Bible, in the Judeo-Christian Bible. Ain't nobody said Jesus Christ wrote nan damn word. They said Paul, Mark, Paul, Mark, Luke, all the apostles
Paul
wrote
is a liar.
50, 100
Matthew's a
years
liar.
after his
All
death.
of these are lies. Right.
All lies. All lies. Constantine at the conference of Nicaea, 325 BC, AD. All lies.
Right, that's right. That's right. Mhm.
Oh, same thing going with their Islamic Bible. All made up, all fictitious, all lies. They take all these things from us. All these things that they wrote in them Bibles, you already saw it on the walls, written in stone in Kemet and Nubia, thousands of years before these people ever saved the Christian and the Arab.
It's not on those scientific paper that man made, and they are okay. For instance, Moby, you was showing me the thing about the what it was, the ratio of the world. You showed me about that video right today. All right, and then we were talking about the 23 chromosomes from the mother, 23 chromosomes from the father. It was talking about the earth, the measure of the earth and the water, how it add up to 71 and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, the Bible do the same thing. And don't you know the Bible is a Masonic book? The Quran or the Quran is a Masonic book.
Right.
Don't you know the Prophet Muhammad was in the order? Don't you know that Ali was in the order? Don't you know all these Masons? All he was Masons, man.
And who made up who was the original Mason? Who was the original Mason? Who brought this masonry to the world? Who, you know what the Masons is? The Masons is the people that built out of stone. The Kemetic and Nubian people who built out of stone. That's who the Masons are. And they bring this knowledge to the world. And then they changed Freemasonry, the European, to something other different, as they did with everything else we taught them. They want to come and change it to something different. No, we taught the world masonry. The craft of Amun Ra, which is the African educational system in which they call the mystery system. We taught the world about building out of stone. Every city, they have all these lost, they call them the lost cities, all across the world. They call them lost cities. And guess what? They all built out of stone. And guess who built them? because nobody else built out of stone. We did. Why? Because we had the craft of Amarat and we taught what we call masonry to build out of stone. Nobody else
So
brings
I'm
it.
lost here.
And then they want to change the
I'm lost.
masonry.
Are you a Kemite? Are you a Kemet? Or are you a Hebrew Israelite? What are you?
I am a Kemetic priest. My family is Adekumi the first is the first African king here in America for the Yoruba people, and my cousin King Adefumi II, and my family
and Brother
is
York.
Yoruba. But I am
Brother
a
York.
Kemetic
Is he a Kemet? Brother York, is he a Kemet?
Hell no.
No,
When
brother,
they shut down York, when they shut down York community,
Brother York is universal like me. We go through all of that. We don't put really no titles on ourselves until we have to relate to somebody. That's why he had the Anshar community. You know what I'm saying? We were Muslims then. We also had
pray?
like yes.
The
Yes, we did all of that, bro.
He claimed that the Wahhabitans were part of the Wichita people. But now I'm Wichita. I'm over the Wichita Nation. Why? Because my mama's side of the family is Creek, what they call Indian, which was the black people here before the white people come. They called themselves Creek. They had another name. That's English. And then we had the Blackfoot Cherokee, which we had another name for also, of course. And this is the Wichita Nation, who they call the Wichita Nation in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and the Seminoles from Florida. Okay, we call ourselves under all these banners, and we are all a part of the Wichita Nation. But the Dr. York, he tried to bring us to the Nawapitan, was a part of the Wichita Nation, and we don't have that nowhere in history until he brought it. So I don't. This is why we say, okay, bro, we hearing what you're saying, and you're talking good and black, but we don't have no history of that thing you talking about. You tried to bring something else to us, and that's unacceptable. Now, as far as talking about us as black people, indigenous people of this land, who was Turtle Island before it was America, okay, we with that. But don't come trying to tell us about you got a history that none of us wrote about, and not even the people you saying mentioning wrote about until you come about. This is the only problem with Dr. York. But I do agree with his philosophy as far as black people, but not his history. Because he make up a history. And see, I know this because when they go and bulldoze his compound in Georgia, half his people from that compound who was there with him, they come to our the only African village in America, Oyutunji African village, and they come there to us. So you know, I know what these people were talking.
Well, okay. Let me get back to like Marshall. See, a lot of things that Marshall say, I agree with what a lot of things Marshall say, but this is what Moe and Marshall made partial fail to realize. I don't really go against Islam like that, bro. What I go against is you trying to put a pale Arab Orthodox Islam on me. If you don't do research outside of Islam, you just want to stay in Islam. I don't care if you go to school to get a master or get a PhD in Islam. It won't matter to me, bro. Because you got brothers right here in the United States that haven't went to school and they will tell you what.
Hold on, no, it's not about.
And they will tell you what, bro. And I'm telling you,
I get it. It's not about degree. I get it. I don't dispute that.
The beginning was the God, and the God was God.
And you got some brothers. Matter of fact, I was just showing Moe the video where you got doctors, black brothers, Muslim brothers. They got doctor's degrees in Islam, and you trying to go there, and they already got it. And Moe was just seeing one of the brothers, like Polite, who come from the Nuwaubian Nation, battling one of these Islamic brothers, the Muslim brothers, and this is the high class ranking brother. And I'm not talking about the one that you see with the black cap.
I know Polite.
Yeah, this brother here, he's sharp, and also the Muslim brother sharp. He's top ranking in the Muslims here in with the black community. He specialized in Islam. He specialized in the astrology of Islam and all of that, not just the reading of the Quran.
Well, guess what? It's not the astrology or none of Islam teachings. They get it all from the Kemetic teachings, who got it from the
That's right. It all gonna go back to the Sumerians and the Kemetics, the Egyptians. Yes.
This all go way, way back before you ever heard the word Islam, before you ever heard the word Christianity. This all go way back before any of that. Because we was doing it already.
Okay,
And
boss.
all of this come out of the
Okay,
original
boss.
things we teach them. We taught the world. The world did not teach us. They're going to portray us as monkeys swinging on the vine. No, we're not monkeys swinging on the vine. You monkey swing on the vine because you don't understand the black people of this planet. They teach all of this already. And this is where all these ideologies come from. And you don't want to respect the mother of all these ideologies. You don't want to respect it. Why? Because the black people brought it. And why don't you want to respect it because black people bought it? Because you have enslaved the black people and you have your foot on our neck right now, and you're not going to tell us the truth about nothing, and you don't want us to know the truth about nothing. But no, we taught you. You didn't teach us.
Hey, Marshall and Moe, why do when they show or when they have movies showing of the Prophet Muhammad or anything that deal with Islam, why do they always show Arab people? Why they don't show the Prophet Muhammad being, a black man who he was? Why they don't really show no one in there really black, but the one black man who played the one who called the Adon? That's it. They don't have no more black people than that. So that they show they're trying to say Islam started with that type of people, when it's not. It ain't even started like that.
No,
they don't even know the real history. So anytime somebody trying to make a history and dominate a religion, and they dominating that religion, they always gonna show you they people. They gonna show you they scholars, they philosophers, and everything on it to dominate. So if you don't do research beyond those people, you're gonna be stuck in their circle of spells, in their domination of school of learning. That's why I'm saying you're gonna be stuck and thinking you knowing something when you don't know. You just moving up in the knowledge of what they teaching you. That's it.
You don't know anything about Imhotep. You don't know anything about the Zoser. You don't know anything about Akhenaten. You don't know nothing about all these great black people who were before all this, who taught the peoples of the world all this. We don't learn nothing. And thank God for Dr. Ben, because he brought this all to us. Okay, and before him, nobody brought all this to us. Amen. We are the great teachers, and they want to hide that. When you go to the European American school, I go to college for 12 years straight here in America. What are they going to tell you about? Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, all these other people. Guess what? They all went to Akibu land. They all went to Kemet, Egypt, for their education. They didn't come up with their own education. They came there and studied 15 years apiece. Aristotle, Plato, all of them. They studied for only 15 years. Well, guess what? To be Kemetic priest, you go into priesthood. They take the black children in Kemet and Nubia at 7 years old, and they study in the priesthood from 7 years old to 47 years old. 40 years to become Kemetic priest. Okay, but the ones who come from Europe, who come study Aristotle, Plato, all these guys, they only come, and the European, we only make them do 15 years. You get enough in 15 years and go back home and teach your people. Okay, this all documented history. You cannot deny us because we wrote everything on the wall in stone. You cannot deny us. You cannot say, I have another history. I have another philosophy. I have another teaching. No, you cannot, because we have wrote it in stone. You can't lie. You could not erase the stone. You cannot erase the stone writing. So this is the dilemma that we are caught in today. The black people will not even accept their own written history because they have accepted the written history of the Arab and the Caucasian, which has been tampered with, of course.
Now okay. I know one thing y'all brothers can help me with. Y'all can help me with Arabic to speak it fluently, because y'all got that. I won't deny you on that. You speak Arabic good. But the history, that's where you brothers like kind of like, you kind of like a little off on that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I speak 5 languages. Why? Because the black people in America I can't speak for where our good brother is from, but the black people in America is taught one language, the oppressor's language, English. We don't even know our own damn language, more or less anybody else's language. So we can't read what they say. But my teacher, fortunately, my godfather, my teacher, Dr. Ben, he educated all the world. He speaks many, many different languages, and he can bring us and tell us what other people had to say about history, because we can't read what they say because we don't read their language. This is why they make me go study and learn many different languages. But we can read and see what the other people in the world had to say. You know, we in America, the only black people on the planet that only speak one language. Everybody else, all black people all across the planet, I don't care, colonized or whoever, they all speak more than one language.
Hey, so hey Moe, so you just speak Arabic and English?
Yeah. Arabic, English, yes.
Okay. Because I got an African brother that I brought on yesterday in my chat room on Hangout, and he speak a fluently African language, and he from Nigeria.
Which one?
And I'm trying to the brother
which language?
I think it's Ebony or something like that.
Igbo.
Yeah, he's
Yoruba. That's Yoruba from
so
Nigeria and Ghana.
So I'm gonna try to learn that from him too, and I'm gonna try to learn from Moe and Marshall Arabic, and then I'm gonna try to learn from that brother, because I want to learn all the language I can learn fluently if I already can, learn it from brothers.
Yeah, right. You need to first learn the alphabet. Alphabet is important. If you learn the alphabet, then you can slowly start putting letters together, pronouncing them. So you get an alphabet, get the alphabet with the English, how you say it in English at the top, like Aleph, the first letter of the alphabet, would be spelled ALEF. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Aleph. So you learn by using them first, and you got to and then once you learn them, how to say them properly, and you can recognize what it is.
They have apps on. You can go to Google Apps to teach you these languages. You can get an app to teach you these languages. But let me tell you, in Oyu-Tunji African village here in America, the only authentic African village in America, with the only authentic African king in America, we have the Yoruba Royal Academy. In the Yoruba Royal Academy, we teach Yoruba. We teach the people how to talk Yoruba.
What about Zulu?
Huh? I have a nephew who from South Africa, and he teaches us this. He teaches us that language also, because when I post on Facebook, and what I post is to teach history and to share Black world news. But this my nephew who is in France going to college, and he take all our posts on Facebook and he put them in 7 languages. And Swahili, Kiswahili, the language of the South African people, he used all these different languages because he had studied them all and he speaks them all. And he tried to share the information that's coming from around the world in all these languages, because we do not speak them. He translates them into English for us. And I tell you what happened to him. He's in France going to college to be learn and teach language. When they see him on the Facebook page with us and they see what he's doing, they attack him. They hit him in his eye. The white people in France attack him on the street. They hit him in the eye with a hammer and beat him, and then the police come and put him in prison because of what he's doing on Facebook, teaching, translating into all the different languages. They do not want this.
Okay. Yeah,
so this is what we are confronted with.
Yeah, it's against Black unity. They want to stop the unity of the Black.
Exactly. They just put him in. He got out of prison. They lock him up and put him in again, because they don't want these people to. They don't want us to unite. If we have language and we can talk to each other all over the world, just give us a step up on being able to unite. and they don't want this to happen because colonialism is still alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
my
y'all. Hey,
brothers.
with that,
Nice talk we had today. You gave me some education. Very interesting.
Wonderful.
Brother Anu, if you could send me that link of Brother York, please, and that clip of Imam Bashir and the Hebrew Israelite brothers having a debate. That would be good, please.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the link. What you want me to send it in here or send it?
Send it in the back chat. Yeah, in the back chat, and I'll save it and I'll look into it.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you can always Google. You can always Google.
Yeah, of course. I'll Google everything.
But he got to know. He got to know where it at to Google it. So once I show him, he can go get it from there.
Look. Once I know Brother York, I'll search all his sources and stuff like that, and
you can Google York.
We'll go from there.
You can Google my uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, he talking about the one that we were talking about. Anybody can Google York, but he was talking about that Pacific one we was talking about. What I was showing him.
Yeah. Put that in the back chat so I can cause I need to break my fast now.
All right, I'm gonna put it in the back.
Okay, brothers. I'll talk to you soon, my brothers.
I want you
nice talking to you, bro.
Quick, real quick. I want to share one more thing with your brother. Oyotunji.org. Google Oyotunji.org. OYOTUNJI.
Put it in the back chat. Put it in the back chat.
Yeah, back chat will be good.
Oh yeah, I put it in the back chat.
Okay. All right, brothers. I'll speak to you soon.
I'll try to be honor and a pleasure, my brother.
Likewise, my friend. Likewise.
All right, be easy, Mo.
Speak soon, brother. Speak soon.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace, brother.
Shalom. Hey, Tahuti.
Yeah, don't hang up.
No, I ain't finna hang up. Hold on. Let me take this 3 minute break with this right quick, and we're gonna come back on. Let me play this right quick, and we're gonna come back on.
Run it, baby.
All right, I'm finna run it now. Hold on. All right, there we go. Gonna let it ride.
Whew, I'm drunk. What are you guys doing? Huh? What are you guys doing? Yeah, I know.
On at some point, bring up the heart. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't hear anything.
You respond.
You hear now?
I haven't heard no one post it to you.
There we go.
That these people ask you this question.
Oh Lord, I gotta go back. Then if you don't hear it, I had the headphones in. Yeah, I gotta go back because I had my headphones in. I didn't. All right, we're gonna let it ride from here.
You know, those that have already accepted Islam, such as in the Sudan. And you have problems with Muslims and Christians. However, are black people. You're going to stop being so information, because it's other scholars who mentioned that when the Muslims came in, they came in Islam. That's easy to show and prove. At least 5, 6 different scholars in itself has been the most powerful. And it's unfortunate. Really happy, and then we say, well, religion is bad, but Christianity, because nobody can mess with this Holy Quran. Nobody can mess with this Holy Quran. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's never been tampered. Of course it is. Of course it has. Of course. No, sir. And if you want to bring the God, and Quran verse and so on and so forth.
Which one come first? Or Greek? Which one come first? Arabic or French? Okay. So when a person makes salat, if we go into that word, we're gonna find salute in French. It comes from a French word.
Wait.
Hold on, brother. Let me talk to you. If Muslims are making salat, and that's the word that they are using, okay? Because you're saying that no one can mess with the Quran, no one can tamper with the Quran, and all that stuff. Listen, if Muslims can make salat, when we trace that Arabic word back, we're gonna wind up in France. And if we call on Isa and we check that Arabic word etymologically, it's gonna go back to Greece. Isa is a Greek word, but that's what you call Jesus.
That's not true.
Isa ibn Maryam
would be the Greek.
No, I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say this. Not so, no, let me do it like this.
Go ahead.
Let me do it like this. It's very easy to do. If we look up the derivative of the word Isa, as in Isa ibn Maryam, or Jesus, look up the word on your own personal time that has a Greek derivative. And if you look up the word salat as another example, and you'll see that from Arabic, you're going to want French. Now, if Arabic is first, and those languages didn't exist first, Greek people and French people in the making of the Quran and on the tampering of the Quran. So that's what I'm
brother, you there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead and get back to our show. I just wanted to play that because that just lets you know about what we were just talking about. And I respect the brother, Marshall and Moe. I respect both of them brothers, and I'm expected to learn Arabic, from the brothers because they speak Arabic fluently, but they just don't know the history, though. They just don't know the history of what went on behind Islam.
They don't know the proper history.
No, they don't know the proper history behind it. So they just thinking that, Islam is something that, it just come from our people, and it's something that just means peaceful, and it's for any and everybody, which is because anyone can be a Muslim and join Islam. But we got the Pale Arab, which are the one who had dominated Islam and put it in the orthodox form and the dogmatic form that it's in now, so that if we don't teach our brothers and sisters the history of Islam, then they will actually be blind and not knowing what they get themselves into.
Right. Just like if we don't teach our brothers and sisters about Christianity, they will continue to be blind.
Right, absolutely. They will be blind from the fact of knowing that all of this stuff, the Bible and the Quran, because the Quran or the Quran is an offspring of the Bible, and the Bible is an offspring of Egyptian or Kemet and Sumerian teachings.
Huh? Well, this is the dilemma that we are facing today. This is the fight and struggle we fight today. The miseducation of the black man.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
Who wrote that book? The Miseducation of the Black Man. Who wrote that book?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He wrote that book, The Miseducation of the Black Man.
Okay. Oh shit!
What that
These
is? What you
people
got
blowing
going
my
on?
phone up, man.
I see you eating and everything else going on up,
They
man.
blowing my phone up from 6 o'clock in the morning, 24/7. Your phone blow up, man.
Hey, you try to get them on here with us, man. I thought you supposed to get them emails, you know, to try to get them brothers and sisters to join a show.
They
or do a
calling
show
now.
with us,
They've
man.
been calling ever since we've been on the phone because
Okay.
they've been calling all morning.
Get the email address then, and we can start
I'm
another
gonna hook
show
them
right
up.
after this show.
I'm going to hook them up. But
Yeah,
I'm not
and we
going
can
to put
definitely
them in front of our communication because our communication is the basis of this, and then we hook these other people in. I'm not going to cut us off to talk to them. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to talk, and then I'll talk to them.
We cutting each other off to talk to them. It's just that I started this whole this video right here for those brothers. That was this video was for. It was just based on a Muslim, you know, perspective coming from these brothers, and you know, just to question them and give them just a little history, and they give us an understanding of what they was coming from. That's basically about what this video was about.
Right. I understood.
So we got to start another panel. We got to start another panel. Not go keep keep going on with the same panel or what it was already created for.
Right. Something else. We keep moving. We keep it moving.
Start a whole nother video because this video was just for that, just for what I had them brothers to come on here.
Yeah, I understood what you was telling me from the beginning of the broadcast. If you talk to the Muslim, they all going to say the same thing. If you talk to the Christian, they all going to say the same thing. Well, of course they are, because that's their belief system they're rocking too. So I know very well, bro. I've been out here in this battle for a long time. I know exactly what's what. Okay, I understood perfectly well what you're saying. But at the same time, okay, I know what my job is, to plant the seed, not to change these people's mind, not to tell them don't do it, but just to plant the seed, and it will grow in them.
I can tell you how I feel about a morning like this.
Right. Right. I understand.
Yeah, no, we don't fight with them about this mess, man. They believe what they believe, but we plant the seed, and it will grow in them.
On my whole body.
Yeah, but I'm finna play this one last little video right here at the end, and then I'm finna end this video so we can start another one that's fresh on a whole nother topic, because this video right here was based on what I had going on with those brothers.
Yeah, I understood that, bro. Anu, you've been with me a little while now. You see, I can deal with all of them. I don't care who they is, Arab, Muslim, Israelite, Christian. You see, I can deal with all that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can deal with a lot of, but a lot of stuff these brothers be saying. See, they really ain't come in hard like how they was coming in hard on the you know, in the hangout. Cause them brothers speak Arabic. Once they go to put that Arabic on you, then you get lost, bro. You feel me? Because
no, I ain't lost because I speak Arabic. I speak Arabic, Yoruba, Swahili, French, Arabic, Spanish. No, I ain't lost. Okay. So you bring them, and bro, we can deal with them.
Listen what I'm saying. I say, do you speak Arabic fluently?
I read Arabic fluently, better than I speak it, but I read it fluently. I read all of them fluently, better than I speak any of them. But I understand all those languages because I can read them. I don't speak them as well as I can read them, but I can read them. I can read that. Arabic, I read those languages. And they don't read our languages. They don't read Yoruba. They don't read they don't read or speak Kiswahili. They don't read or speak Yoruba. None of that. And they black people. I have many people from the Khan people who speak their own language. They don't, you know, like I say, they know what they know. But this is why Dr. Ben, he teaches us, you must be able to speak to these people from all over the world. You must understand the history that they have been taught, because they've been taught false history, and you must know that false history they've been taught as well as you know the true history. This is why my education went the way it went.
And that's why my education went the way it went. And I was taught not only from Dr. York, but I was taught by Yahweh Ben Yahweh. I was taught by Noble Jew Ali, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Ben, Dr. Sabi. So I was taught from all these brothers.
Yeah.
And I was taught from the most important thing, which is my experience in life, my experience itself. So
okay, now you just hit a home run, a grandstand home run out the ballpark right there. Because can nobody tell a man what he saw and what he heard and what he understood, and no person can come to you and tell you, no, you didn't see that, no, you didn't hear that, no, you don't, no. You're not going to
see that on the screen. What I got on the screen? You see that? What I did?
Huh?
You see what I got on the screen up there?
You breaking up. You breaking up. I can't hear you. You breaking up.
Okay, hold on. Do you see the screen? Do you see what I got on? Who face that is up there?
No, I'm not on that screen because my daughter just called me. Hold on, I got to go back to that screen. Shoot, I can't find that screen. I don't have no screen. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are you still here? Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't have no screen for you.
Okay, and you ain't got no screen. Well, I'm gonna post this because the people on
for you.
Okay, listen to this then. Listen to this.
Called a man a fool.
He said Jesus called a man a fool.
I want to share with you a dramatic little story from the Gospel as recorded by St. Luke. It is who by all of measurement would be considered a highly called him a fool. You will read that parable, you will discover that the central character in the drama is a certain rich man. So rich that yield crop. In fact, the crop that he didn't know what to do. And that he had only one alternative, and that was to build and bigger barns so he could store all of his crops. This recording is briefly interrupted. Drink and be merry. That was the end of life. It doesn't end with that man making his statement. It ends that God said to him,
Thou fool. That's right.
Not next year, not tomorrow, but this night. Is required of thee. Oh, it was at the height of his prosperity.
He died.
He died. Look at that house. Think about it. Think of this man. If he lived in Chicago today, he would be considered. He would abound with all the prestige and all of the community influence that most people would look up to him because he would have that something called
money. That's right. He got that money. A mighty green dollar.
The biggest lie on the earth.
People need to come from under, bro. That's why we can't come together, because they so busy, you know, everything,
Chasing
getting the
money.
material things, but they ain't trying to come together, be better than money.
Lost in space, I call it.
Number one, Jesus called this man. He allowed the means by which he lived to outdistance the ends for which he lived.
Right. That's good. That's true, though. That brother, Dr. Martin Luther King said something then.
Yeah, but this is King after he talked to Malcolm X. This is not King before Malcolm X. This King after he talked to Malcolm X.
Now the within of our lives is that realm of spiritual ends expressed in art, literature, religion, and morality. The without of our lives is that devices, mechanisms, and instrumentalities which we live. The house we live in, part of the means, the car we drive, the clothes we wear. We are able to relate. In short, the physical stuff that's necessary for is that we must always keep alive two. Because he didn't do that. He didn't make contribution.
All right.
Okay, that's very good. And like I say, we had two Martin Luther King. We had Martin Luther King before he come in contact with Malcolm X, and then we have Martin Luther King after he come in contact with Malcolm X. Two different Martin Luther King. Because Malcolm X, he told that they brought the Magnificent Seven. The President of the United States, Kennedy, brought the Magnificent Seven to the White House, and he gives them over $1 million and tell them, you take this money and you do what you need to do, and you do what we tell you to do. They make a mistake. They had invited the number 8, Malcolm X, and Malcolm X said, no, I don't take your money, and I'm going to tell what you just did. That's why they killed Malcolm X in the after his speech, Battle of the Bullets, and his last speech, they killed him for going and tell that he told on King and the others for pushing integration, because it was not a plan of the white people, black people to have integration. This was the plan of the white people. And Malcolm X told on them, and they killed him. And then when he talked, Martin Luther King talked to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, his whole speech changed, and the white people who were paying him, they say, oh, you turned traitor on us, and we kill you too.
Well, that's how it be, though, you know. That's how it be, man. So much going on. You gotta be real careful, man, about what's going on, man. There's too much going on, man.
That's how it was. You know
what I'm saying? That's how it is now. You got a lot of people still crossing people for that money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they killed King for double crossing them. You take the money to sell our product of integration, and then you turn double cross us, and they kill him for that. Of course, we know why they killed Malcolm X, because he just would not bow down to them, and he's going to preach the truth. You know, even though he's claiming Islam, that ain't got nothing to do with it. He preached the truth, just like Marcus Messiah Garvey. He was preaching Roman Catholic Church, but they ain't got nothing to do with it. He teaching black nationalism. You know, they didn't know better, and they doing the best they could at the time what they were in, and we had to understand that.
All right, man. I'm finna end this video, and I'm gonna hit you on the phone so we can talk and get ready for the next show, so we can go ahead and build on the next show, and I can get everything ready for the next show.
Okay, do that.
All right, for sure, brother. Peace.
Peace.